Hi, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Scott's Shave. So today, I have a really peculiar razor. And it's not that it's ultra rare, it has a little bit of rarity to it. I didn't get the case for it or anything, but what it does have is an interesting story, okay? So, like many in the razor community, the pandemic has hit some people hard and so on and so forth, right? Well, the one thing about it is, it closed one of the very few shave shops that exist here in the United States. Maybe some of you know it, maybe some of you don't. Maggard's Razors. Well, I ran into Glenn, the owner down there, last Friday. I will tell you, fantastic guy. All right. It was really nice. It was my first time ever being there, down in Adrian, Michigan. It's not my first time being the Adrian, but it is my first time being the Maggards. What's funny about it is, we have somewhat of a connection with his family, given my line of work and what I do for the state of Michigan, and what his dad used to do once upon a time. So it's kind of interesting, there's a little bit of a connection there. He was a cool guy. I got to see the shop, actually, where he does a lot of work on straight razors. He showed me some straights and stuff like that, because to be honest, straights are not something I know a whole lot about. Now, safety razors are. So what was good about it, and what was fantastic about it, is I just went there, just to see the place. I've heard so much about Maggards. Matter of fact, I've ordered a couple knots from there and so on and so forth. But, they do have hardware along as with software and stuff. And their website is one of the main websites that I see featured all the time, that lots of people go to and use. So what was funny about it is I showed up. I am an avid razor hunter. Obviously, my collection is approaching between 180 and 200, somewhere in there. When I get all the girls back, so to speak, from their travels a little bit around that they're doing, I'm going to do an accurate count, and I'm going to do that tour that my Shave Den that I've promised. Well, what was funny is once I had arrived there at Maggard, so it was about an hour and 15-minute drive. Almost ran out of gas on halfway there. I had E85 in my truck, and boy, does E85 just burn up a lot faster than gasoline. I'm not going to get into that. That's a whole other discussion for another story. But when gas is over $3 a gallon, and I know of a place that manufactures E85 between here and Grand Rapids, and I can get it for like $1.73, I think is what I paid the other day. It beats out gasoline based on price for distance, okay? But anyway, I digress. What was funny about it is him and I had talked. I looked at some of the razors he had just laying around. They're the razors he couldn't sell, so to speak, that are just odds and ends that are sitting up for display up on top of some of his cases, along with some soaps and different blades and different things, just oddities he has laying around. And I started identifying some of them, and it was quickly came to his attention that, I probably know what I'm talking about, and I'm not just some ding-dong kicking the tires, so to speak. So he makes his way to the back and pulls out a old box of stuff and goes, here's an old box of a lot that I had bought. These guys from Chicago had showed up with, like, those blue 50-gallon drum type things, and I think he said they had 12 of them. 12 of them full of razors, right? Well, they showed up, and he being the nice guy that he is, goes, look, sure, I could give you a flat rate of, this is how much I'll give you for these. Or I can actually go through them and give you a good thing, because, they weren't just razors. There was just some trash in them, too, he was telling me. Well, this box that he proceeded to pull out from the back room, he goes, here's some old safeties that, aren't really a whole lot of anything. So, that he knows of it, So he goes, there's stuff I can't sell. Maybe there's something in there that you want, right? So, upon looking through, I came across this little beauty, all right? And what this is a Gillette ABC, which was from the early 1900s. This one dates for 1909. Is what this one dates for, at least given the code that I have on the head here, okay? Not entirely for sure what these were originally finished in, if it was silver or it was gold or whatever. I will say this is my second one of these. But this one just has a more interesting story than the one I happened to find at some antique store for for $3. Believe it or not, I found one of these for $3 like a week ago. So, what do we have here? This is an old ABC, and you can see that there's the handle. It's a relatively small razor. I mean, in comparison. It's got some heft to it though, because it is a solid razor. So what these was ABC as an ABC Button Company razor of the early 1900s. They have a Gillette head with an ABC button handle. This is a 3-piece razor. I have gone through, cleaned, and polished this razor. I gave it the old heave-ho, so to speak. It has some bent teeth, so is this in pristine condition? No. Does this have an interesting story of how I came about it? Sure does. So I'm going to keep this in my collection, even though this is a duplicate. This is something that will not leave my collection. But I figure I've actually never shaved with one, so I'm going to give it a try. So it made its way to Maggard's from these gentlemen from Chicago who came and sold him a giant lot of razors. And yeah, I happened to go through the remnants of that quote-unquote pick for him, and I actually managed to find like I think 6 or 7 different razors, and one of them was a French Leco, or Leco, however you say it, or Leco. I don't know how to say French. I don't speak French, right? But it was one of those that I've seen featured by a guy on the Wet Shaving Society named David Place, and I asked him, it's somewhat of a Franken razor. It's the head that's important on that. So I will feature that once I get it cleaned up. But I figured today I'm going to go ahead and try the Cremo Stick Cooling Shave Cream. I'm assuming I'm going to be face lathering this. This is unopened. It's brand new. So we're going to be the first to do it. You're going to see it live, unedited here. And going to give it a try. I'm not the first to use it, but I'm going to be my first time using it. And we're going to be loading up a Vashkot blade. What I do in the name of science, because I have a very sneaky suspicion, says that this is going to have a ton of blade feel, because I've used a big fellow before, and I actually gave it, I traded it away. Not that I regret the trade, but I probably shouldn't have done that because I don't have another one in my collection at the moment now. So I have to now turn my attention back towards the early 1900s razors, your single rings, your double rings, your aristocrat from then, and so on and so forth. So this shave, being that this has a shave stick, we're going to try to face lather with it. So just get some water here on the face and see what we get, alright? So the smell, my face has just destroyed this stuff. Okay, so maybe not just face lather, because it obviously is pretty soft. This smells like spearmint gum. No, those red peppermint candies that you get, when you have an upset stomach at a restaurant. And so it doesn't seem to be building a very great lather. Is it gonna be slick? Sure feels so. Guess we're gonna find out, right? Definitely not the prettiest looking face here, but hey, we're gonna do it all in the name of science, right? Maybe it's in the name of entertainment. But I do appreciate the shout out from Wet Shaving Experience. He was really impressed with my blue lather. Again, I wrote in the comments on how I did that, okay? So before any of you get the bright idea to go and dye your shave cream, right? Make sure you are doing your homework about it, okay? I have a little bit of an unfair advantage to some people, and one of them is I have been was a professional cook for roughly 6 years. And I have a nice burn. I can feel the peppermint minty burn of this stuff on my skin. And, oh yeah, blade feel, somewhat, aggressive. Yeah, okay, this shave cream sucks, okay? I'm going to go with a good pre-shave. I'm going to get my bowl and stuff. I'll be right back because this is going to cut the crap out of my face. What would go good with mint as far as smell? How about we just go with some unscented? This is a trace of past soaps, again from my girl Tracy over there. She has some unscented soap that I do have. For those of you who don't like scent. So being that we have a scented soap with peppermint, I'm not gonna. Alright, let's see what we get for lather here now. Anyway, what's my advantage I have? A, I'm a chemist. B, I was a cook for a number of years. So, being a cook for 6 years, I was able to know that, food coloring or food gels are going to dye the crap out of your skin. And, something that crossed my mind is, well, Kool-Aid. Guess what? Kool-Aid's going to do the same. It's going to dye your skin if you do it, all right? So, don't just run out and grab food coloring or grab Kool-Aid and go to town with it. Not a good idea, okay? It will dye your skin. So then it left me with, well, what do? I want to dye my soap because no one else is going to do it. I'm going to be the only one. So I start thinking about it. Well, what can you put on your skin that ain't going to dye it? Well, I did find an alternative. And the first alternative I came with was my daughter's bath time paints. Like that Crayola makes. But she's able to put those in the ball. And they come right off with just some water. So I got the bright idea, mix it with some soap, see what happens. Well, it does, but it's going to take a ton. This stuff is water soluble, so it doesn't have a ton of pigment to it. So, oh my God. I need to rinse and repeat here, guys. This razor is super aggressive. Well, it's not super aggressive, okay? I'm a pansy, let's put it that way. It's not super aggressive. I gotta re-slick my face up with some water here before I re-lather because it's a very efficient razor, but it has got a lot of blade feel, and I'm a pansy when it comes to blade feel. So I'm not trying to say it's super aggressive, okay? That's not what I mean, but it has enough blade feel to make it uncomfortable, so. Alright, there, that should be nice and soaked up. So, Cremo soap sucks, don't use it. Even as a pre-shave, it sucks. Yeah. Not enjoying this shave. I'm not someone who can do this stuff, so. Yep. But hey, I will always try something once. Alright. So, so then, alright, I didn't give her credit yet. I haven't. It's long overdue. I am a chemist. So, I was sitting here thinking, well, what could I use chemistry-wise that might do the same thing, right? My wife. So I have an immense razor collection. Guess what my wife has? My wife has an immense makeup collection. MAC, and I can't even think any of the names. That's the only one that comes to mind. I know that's not her primary brand, but my wife has a lot, right? From Ulta Beauty, she's a, so she goes, well, you put eyeshadow on eyes and it doesn't dye your skin, you can wash it right off. And I go, what an interesting concept. I go, do you got any cheapo stuff that I could use? She goes, I have this little elf palette that we give for our daughter to try. See the blue's missing? I took a toothpick, ground it out into the powder because it's just fine powder. Well, primitive paints were just crushed up dried plants and powder with some water and paste. And ta-da! Guess what? They got paint for cave paintings, right? So, use eyeshadow, powder in your shave cream. It throws the balance off. You need to add a little bit extra water, some extra soap. It took me a lot of extra soap, honestly, compared to what I would usually do. And but it worked. You guys saw it. If you watched my video, you saw that I had a blue shave cream. And ta-da, it worked. So if you're ever really feeling in the mood to do it, it will work. I would recommend maybe using a brush that's not so your favorite though, because it could dye your brush. I can show you the one that I used that day, which is an Maggard boar, and it mostly washed out, but here at the base of the brush, you can see there's that blue hint somewhat. So it took a lot of scrubbing to get that to come out, right? But it worked, you know. It was a brush that I had only used and bought just for the red, white, and blue challenge. Josh Perkins did a decent one over there with a red razor. So that's what I was looking for, was a red razor. I have blue razors. And I will say, I probably should have dyed my soap blue because, you know, I don't know how sad it is, but this thing feels smoother against the grain and did with the grain. So I don't know what's up with that crap. That don't make any sense. Anyway. It has blade feel, has blade feedback. You can kind of hear it, pretty audible there. Oh shit, I just caught my ear. Oh well. Won't be the first, won't be the last. So I can tell you what, man, this being as much blade exposure that is here on this, it's not that the blade gap is super long. It's just it has a rather short comb for a razor and a ton of blade feel. I'm getting a very close shave with it. But yeah, so that's my shave with an ABC razor. Yeah, I ain't doing 3 passes of that razor, ain't happening, guys. I usually am in a 3-pass shave anyway. Very few razors will I actually do that with, you know. I got myself a little bit right there, but and actually I didn't get my ear, which is all right. So one little nick, very smooth shave for a 2-pass. But I had to be rescued with the soap because Cremo shave stick. You know, I had to talk to my buddy earlier, Josh Perkins. He said it wasn't very good razor. It wasn't very good soap. Wasn't impressed. Well, I can see why. You know, because one of the things, my girl Tracy at Tracy's Fast Soaps, unscented, to go with that peppermint. And to be honest, I don't know that I want to use a splash because I can feel the burn of the peppermint in my face and it feels good. I like it. So I would probably recommend this as only not something for beginners because it sucks. And I would recommend it as a pre-soap. That's about it. And what I would do personally, I think what I would do in future, put it on, let it sit, let it get that tingle burn that you like. Probably rinse it off and then start over with some nice view soap. Alright, it's got good padding and stuff. So, given that, I gave you the inside secret on how to dye your shave soaps if you feel like it, just because I think personally I make cool videos, make awesome shaves, but do yourself a favor and use like Dollar Tree makeup, okay? Elf is along those lines, not quite Dollar Tree level, but pretty damn close. I mean, we're talking, she said that pad was $3, you know? So you can make your shave soap about any color. So maybe that's something you're looking to. I gave you how to do it, alright? So, raw, unedited. Sorry for the long 20-minute shave, but thank you for watching and viewing. If you have not yet, please subscribe to the channel. We always have new content coming out here, alright? And I promise, I showed you how to hunt for an adjustable, showed you how to clean razors, and you know, I got a couple other things up my sleeve that I want to teach you guys and show you guys, because I feel that you guys really rather see content of that nature than seeing me shave all the time. Alright? Thank you for joining me. Shout out to Jonathan and Fayez. I'm probably butchering your name. Sorry, buddy, if I am. And Adam and Michelle. Haven't heard from him in a while, but my buddy TJ, my buddy Mike Cronwright over there in New Zealand, alright? Rob Huffman, alright? Those are some of the people who've made my time in this razor community awesome, alright? And to be honest, I really, really appreciate the love that I've gotten from all of them, alright? You know, it has made especially the pandemic go by pretty easy. You know, it's not to say I don't have friends. I got lots of friends, alright? I go fishing all the time with buddies and stuff like that, you know? My friends are just a phone call away. But when the pandemic hit and people were, you know, not wanting to spend time with hanging out because of fear of COVID and so on and so forth, I don't hold that against anyone, alright? Because, to be honest, I was quite fearful of myself. We have a great grandmother in our family who we see often who's 92. And without a vaccine, there's a good chance that she would have been a goner if she would have got COVID. You know, we buttoned down, did what we had to do, and she didn't get COVID. So it is what it is. But my buddies out there in the shave community, I have met some really cool people. So that controversy that happened with Tyler Moan or Tyler John or whatever the hell he goes by now, it was really sad to see that he had taken advantage of so many people, all right? Because personally, I can't stand that crap. Because every one of my friends will tell you that I have done something for them. I've helped them out with razors. I've helped locate razors. I've given them razors. I've tried to do what I can do, you know. I hear it all the time from my buddy Josh over at Subi Shaves. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't even have a channel, you know. He says that crap to me all the time. And I've been an avid supporter of the dude. He does some really cool things. And I just like to help him out along his journey if I can, you know. I'm not one to sit here and try to belittle anyone. Who am I to judge, right? I'm not middle-aged yet. Getting there, but I'm an overweight dude. You know, it is what it is. I mean, right? So anyway, thank you to all my friends and supporters now that I have here on YouTube. I appreciate everything, and I apologize for the longer video. They will be shorter. But the conversations that I get to have here with you guys, Dirty Harry, shout out, buddy. I don't even know who you are, but I appreciate the lovely comments every time from you, you know. We're a small channel. We are growing. The Red, White, and Blue did get me a few subscribers. I think maybe the shout out from Wet Shaving Experience helped. But I do appreciate each and every one of you, all right, for being here, for viewing this, for watching this. If you want to join a channel, go ahead. Because you know what? I think at some point, me and Subi, there's a collab coming. I can guarantee it, all right? We've been talking about it. So, Josh, John, Michelle, Fayez, TJ, Rob, you guys have been great. And I appreciate our conversations we have other than just razors too. All right. Thank you guys. Stay classy.